All right, so in our last episode, we went house hunting in Mexico City. And today, we're gonna let you know which one we chose. Which one did y'all think? Let's go check it out.
Let's go.
I want the water.
That's right, everybody. We ended up moving to Puerto Vallarta. So, a little curveball there. Today, we're gonna go do some house hunting, check it out, look at some houses, and take you along. Let's go see what we find.
Yeah, let's see.
All right, so the cat is out of the bag, and now you know we moved to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. So, in today's episode, again, for those who don't remember, I'm Roddy.
I'm Landy.
And in our episodes, we talk about everything that has to do with living here in Mexico and our experience, all the good and the bad. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into our episode and do a little house hunting here in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico.
If you haven't subscribed us, please click the button and ring the bell.
So one of the first things we had to decide upon when we decided to move to Puerto Vallarta was whether or not to take our furniture. I think here in Puerto Vallarta, they do offer a lot of rentals that are furnished because Puerto Vallarta is a big international hub. You do have a lot of international tourists who come here to live short-term and long-term.
Especially for the winter.
Especially for the winter, right? They do have a lot of, what they call the snowbirds that come in and so much more from all across the world. So they do offer a lot of furnished places. Now, of course, we did have our furniture, so that was kind of our dilemma. But at the same time, it also allowed us to kind of look at more places. Like, let's try to find the best place possible. If it's furnished, great, we move our stuff. If we see something we really like and it's furnished, well, worst case, we have to sell our stuff like in a fire sale and try to get rid of it as quickly as we can for as little as we can.
And I think maybe it's also do us a favor as the furnished place may go faster for the short-term people. And we gotta have a local living 1 year lease. We can get more opportunities.
Right. So again, and I think another plus that could have been was, obviously, as you've seen, we've already moved to a couple of places. Not being held back by all the furniture does kind of make it a little easier to move. Right? Don't have to worry about, now we got to find a mover or a packer. Right? We just get up, go, move, find another furnished place in the future if we so decide. And so again, it just kind of releases that one burden of having to think about furniture and moving it and all the hassles that come with that.
Right.
In the future.
And most places we find are from the Facebook group.
Right.
You talk to a few realtors, WhatsApp them, they send over some houses. At this time, we only flew to Puerto Vallarta for 7 days. We stayed in the hotel by the beach and tried to get Louie settled. Then we can also look for places.
Right. And we also went a little bit outside of Puerto Vallarta. Like with our first place, we actually looked in Nuevo or Nuevo Vallarta, as some people call it. The first place we saw, which was in Nuevo Vallarta, one of the things that we liked about it, and you'll see, is that it was very new. And that's kind of one of the things that Nuevo Vallarta offers, is because it's a newer and still developing area, you do get a lot of new builds, like this first place. And that's one of the things we did like. It was brand new. Once again, we would have been the first people to have moved in, which is always a nice feeling. You get it, it's clean, it's not so lived in, who knows what's left behind kind of feeling.
And the first place, actually, I saw another lady posted in her channel. She did a house tour about that apartment. And I said, that's the one. It's the same one I saw on the website. And it's gorgeous. Look at the pool. And I even showed to Rod, let's go to have a look. And we saw a listing there, and it's no furniture. So we talked to the realtor, and he even pick us up at the Nuevo Vallarta beach, which we checked it out. I said, we got here earlier. Let's check out the beach.
Right. Because that's one of the things that Landy was telling me about. I was probably the one that was a little bit more hesitant about looking there. Not completely opposed, but it's a little bit far from Puerto Vallarta. Like if you want to get from there, depending on where you are, to let's say the Central or the romantic zone in Puerto Vallarta, maybe on a good day you're looking at probably at least 30 minutes to get here. But one of the things that she kind of sold me on was that the beaches there are very nice.
And it's flat, very soft, and it's
sand.
5 miles long.
Right.
And but the con is only a few beach access.
Right.
Full of all inclusive or just resorts, golf course. So we need to find out the access. So
Right.
we did find 2.
Right, and we went to one.
Yeah.
And again, very nice. Again, like she had soft sand, nice waves, but again, very long. I guess the tide is very long, so there's a long area where it's very shallow before you hit the waves. They're very kind of far out, which is great for kids.
We saw
right?
a few kids are there, even learning surfing.
Right.
I mean, that's a nice part.
Right, which so it was really cool. So I'm glad we saw it, and then from there we went to go look at our first place.
Yeah.
And again, this was a 2-bedroom, and again, this one also did have like a little multi-use space. It could be another small bedroom, office, den, whatever you wanted to use it as, right when you walked in. So again, for us, that's very nice because it gives us a little office space where we can put our desk and still do our work when we need to. The size was pretty good.
It's good.
Right.
Yeah.
The kitchen was nice. Had a nice big balcony. And pretty much here, I think all of the apartments overlook the pool. And one of the things that we talked about, I remember you mentioned, was if I go to Puerto Vallarta, I kind of want that resort feeling.
Oh yeah.
It's nice to look out and you see palm trees and the pool, and it's just very nice, pretty. And so I think this place really hit on a lot of those checks, right? Again, the pool is nice, had a nice outdoor area. Again, the complex itself was very new. So again, I did check off a lot of boxes for us.
Right, and I like the pool community is you talk to people.
Yeah.
There are lots of short-term or long-term, mostly a short-term stay people, and it's always some people new in and out. It's lots of kids there, people there. So Louie loved to talk to people.
Yeah, he loves to talk to anybody. Young kids, old people, everything in between. He is very social. So again, it gives him more of a opportunity to kind of use that. So that's we did like that as well. What did we like?
The construction, of course, it's always follow me.
Yeah, and this was literally outside our front door, right? You would open the door, and right across from us, they were still constructing a commercial center. Right? And actually, it's going to be mixed use, right? It was commercial on the bottom, and then the top was going to be apartments.
Yeah.
And again, they were saying maybe 6 months.
1 year.
I don't think so. To be completed. And again, then they're still, once they finish the building, then especially for the shops, then they got to come in and they got to outfit them for that type of shop. So there's still going to be more tile and construction. So that probably wasn't going to be done really anytime soon. And maybe if we were on the other side of the complex, it could have been better. But again, we were literally right outside our door, and there's the construction.
I can hear the drilling if I'm on the office side, which is close to the construction site.
Right. That's right. I didn't think about that.
And then the realtor did tell us that's why they lowered the rent for now.
Yeah, that's true. That's why the price was pretty reasonable, at least for what we're looking at and in our range. So I think that was the biggest con for that.
Yeah, I don't think I want to stay in the construction sound environment for the next 6 months or year. Right. I don't move to Puerto Vallarta for this.
So that was one thing we had to consider.
But that complex is very nice. It has very pretty pool, the gym,
barbecue area.
Yeah, some
green space.
And
then we actually did have a parking space that was covered. Some of the parking spaces weren't covered. Ours was fortunate enough to be covered in this complex.
The realtor did told us there is a daycare right outside of the complex.
Oh yeah,
it's
right
a walking
outside.
Distance.
I mean, one door right to the next door.
And it's very close to the beach. Nuevo Vallarta or Puerto Vallarta has the Highway 200. So we try to be on the beach side.
On the west side, right? The beach side.
Which is not the other side, as I heard. On the other side, there are more construction, or the air is not as nice as the beach side.
The beach side, right. And I think it was just maybe less than 5 minute drive to the beach.
Yeah.
3-4 minutes, and you're at the public access that we were just at. So that was very nice.
Right.
All right. So moving on to the second place. We got picked up by another realtor, and this area was the La Jolla.
La Jolla, which is very close to the Puerto Vallarta airport.
Right, so just on the north side.
Something, we concerned, will that be super loud? You have the plane just above your head all the time.
Right.
But we did talk to the realtor, and who you talk to? They said, no, actually, it's very quiet.
Yeah, actually, he said he used to live right down the road from where we were looking. He said, I never had an issue.
And then we walked in. We don't really trust the realtor. We did talk to a person.
Right.
There's a man from Canada. He's hanging out at the pool. So he stayed there for about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So we asked him, so how's the loudness? And he said, no, actually, it's very quiet.
Right. What I really liked about this location was one, that it was very quiet and very peaceful, but the outside area was very pretty and it had multiple pools. Right?
And it does have the Spanish feeling. It has all the Spanish rooftop.
Right, white buildings, Spanish tiles, lots of green spaces. Like I think there was 3 different pools, right?
Yeah.
And multiple green spaces. Right, it just really had that tropical resort kind of vibe, like very laid back, very quiet. So I mean, just looking at the outside, I was already like, oh, I really like this place.
I really like it. Right.
And this was again a little still outside of, well, no, it was in Puerto Vallarta, but like right on the edge. So you get still a little bit of distance to like the more well-known, you know, again, whether it's Versailles or Central or Romantic Zone, still a little far, right? A little bit. Getting closer, but still far.
Yeah.
So that was one of the little cons I didn't like about it. Then the place itself was a 3-bedroom, also 2.5 bath. So again, right off the bat, 3-bedroom, excellent. That's one of the things we liked.
And it's just right outside of the pool.
Oh,
you can, from your front yard, backyard, and you can just walk to the pool.
Right, maybe 10 meters, 15 meters.
Yeah,
right, very
15
close.
seconds.
Yeah,
which is a plus.
Right, yeah, we're there with Louie. Want to go swimming? Let's go swimming.
Yeah, I can just sit there, see my son hanging out, and play there.
Right. And the pool areas were very nice. Also, they had all the covered area. They had their own bathrooms.
Yeah,
which are all little nice little
and
things.
we can enjoy the 3 pool. You can go to any pool you want.
Right. Now, I think on the flip side, some of the things we didn't like was once we got inside. It felt a little bit tight in there, and this one was going to be furnished, well, partly furnished. I think the downstairs came furnished, and you know the sofa seemed a little bit big, and the table was definitely way too big for that area.
Why they chose that?
Yeah, no, it was like an 8-person table for like 2 people, and for us only 3. So again, it kind of took up a lot of the space, which there wasn't very much of. And you went upstairs, and the master bedroom was pretty good size, I think. Right? I think they also had a queen bed, I think, in there with the 2 nightstands, but there was still space to expand into a king, if I'm not mistaken. Now, the 2 other bedrooms were just so-so. They weren't big, they weren't small.
Yeah.
It was a little bit hard to see the full size because they had so much stuff in there. They kind of used it as a storage area.
So here we go, the cons. The pro, obviously, beautiful neighborhoods, 3 pools, easy access to the pool.
3 bedrooms.
Yeah, 3 bedrooms.
Big master.
It's still a casa,
right.
Still
a
townhome.
Right.
Have your backyard, front yard.
Right.
Access to outside, which you have dogs.
Right.
They take dogs, of course. And so the con.
Well, the con, small.
Small.
Right. Again, it felt crowded.
Not covered yard.
Right. The patio wasn't so covered, so part of the day was going to be sunny, which could have been an easy fix.
Should be okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But on the front side, it was actually one of the very few that I noticed that didn't have a covered parking. It was exposed, and actually, I was looking at the sun and how it went, and actually, the car would be exposed to the sun all day. And again, if you know anything about Puerto Vallarta or beach areas, like tropical areas, that sun can be brutal, and you don't want to open that car door in August and it's
true. Yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah. So that was a little bit of a con.
Yeah.
So from there we moved on. Again, nice place overall.
Yeah, we still take it as a consideration.
Oh, absolutely.
And I still love the area, love the complex itself.
Right.
So we
moved on to an area I'm not too familiar with. It was kind of, again, now we're getting closer to Puerto Vallarta, still on the maybe southeast side of the airport, if you can think of it. It was kind of in an odd location, but the house itself was very big. Right, this was with a lady. Yeah. Right, this was also a 3-bedroom, which again was very nice. And I think this one had 3 big bedrooms. I do remember all the bedrooms were very, very spacious. Right. Yeah. Downstairs was also pretty good size. Again, this was a little bit older building, whatever you want to consider that. And
it's furnished.
It was furnished, right? And it was decent furniture. It was nice. I mean, good enough definitely to live in. It had like a little patio in the front.
Yeah.
Again, so it was checking off a lot of boxes. The one thing I did notice when we walked in was it didn't have an AC downstairs.
Right.
Right. But as we started talking about it and talking with the realtor and the lady, the owner was there.
Yeah.
She had mentioned that we moved in and gave all the deposits and everything. That she would actually install solar panels and an AC downstairs. And of course, with the solar panels, that would drop our electric bills quite drastically, which was a nice touch.
Right.
Because we do hear that in the summer times, the bills can can jump up quite a bit, especially for electricity.
Right.
So solar panels would have been a nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
It also had a small pool right outside. It was very small.
Yeah.
But I think one of the pros was, even though these were townhouses, it only had one neighbor because the pool is on the other side. So we'd only have one neighbor, and that's it.
And they said
nice.
it's very quiet.
Yeah.
Not many neighbors.
I think only 32 homes in total.
Right. And most people are residents, I think. Not many short-term renters. But also leads to another thing, as it didn't give me the more resort feeling. The pool is small. I don't
there was no chairs.
There's no bench there. Yeah, just give me the feeling like, okay, it's kind of the neighborhood.
Right. And then when you walked outside, there was like a kind of small, ugly canal like that, right? A little water. Again, it wasn't really accessible to anything. You couldn't just walk out like, oh, there's so many restaurants and things to kind of do. It's like, so.
You're still gonna drive around or find a bus station if I want to go somewhere. How far to the beach? I don't remember.
My guess would be at least
15 minutes.
15 minutes, probably.
Yeah.
So not terrible. I mean, it's better than 12 hours from the beach. So still not the worst thing. But again, it did have a lot of pluses. Big, spacious, big bedrooms, solar panels, all that good stuff.
Right.
So we did put it on our list and move on from there.
Right. Next one is the
3-bedroom with the roof garden.
Right, that one, yeah.
And again, this one is actually showed to us and recommended to us by our realtor. We were going to go see some other places, and he said, well, you know what, for your situation with the dogs and the kids, I think I might have a place for you. It's not even on the market yet. It's actually the place where I stay at. My landlord, there's a place a few doors down from where I live that just became open. I haven't even taken pictures, nothing. If y'all would be interested in seeing it, I think it might be a nice fit for you.
Right.
Okay, let's go check it out. So we showed up. Again, one of the things we liked about it was that kind of good and bad right off the bat was we walked in and it's a private little privada. I think only 11 little townhomes. So it's very small, which I kind of liked. It kind of reminded me of our first place in Queretaro. Right. Which again, it gives access, it's closed in. There's 2 gates so that you can let the dogs go a little bit and Louie can kind of play a little bit without being too worried too much about cars coming in and out. But then we asked him, we're like, well, is there a pool? And he's like, well, not really. But yes. We're like, oh, okay. So the owner of this place also owns the little resort hotel literally right around the corner. It's like a 3-minute walk, and you can use the pool there. Like, okay, so let's go see the house, and then we'll go check it out later.
And the house we walked in, it's still under renovation. Right. I can smell the paint.
Right.
And so it is very spacious.
Right.
The backyard, it's a small yard, but not so big.
Right. It does have a little patio.
But still can put the dogs there.
Right, for emergencies.
Yeah.
Right. And we walked in, and it was very spacious, and we noticed the high ceilings.
The high ceiling,
right. And again, so you have to kind of look past what they were doing. They were doing the painting and the little fixing jobs here and there. So again, the living area, dining room area was very, very spacious. We walked into the kitchen, and the kitchen was very big.
I saw a space for a dishwasher, which is not a very common in Mexico.
No, not at all, right? Maybe a little bit more here, but still not. None of the other ones we saw had a space for a dishwasher.
No.
But yeah, the kitchen was very spacious, and that's one of the things I noticed. It was like a big U-shaped.
Right.
I think probably the biggest kitchen we saw, I would say here, right? By far. So which was very nice. And it was kind of offset. Again, kind of exactly what we were looking for as far as the kitchen. Then we went upstairs, and that's where the 3 bedrooms are. Again, once we walked into the master, I was like, oh, wow.
Master is very big.
Right, this is a very big master. No problem with a king bed fit in here, nightstands, and we'll still have plenty of space. So we did like that.
But I also realized that in the master, there's no spacious closet. There is a closet in the bathroom, but only the hanger. There's no dresser, nothing, no shelf.
Right. So
for that, and the bathroom, all bathrooms sink. The vanity are very tiny, so not enough countertops for our stuffs.
Right.
So that's
the countertop space was definitely going to be something tough. We'd have to try to figure out, if we decided to choose that one. And I think even in the master bathroom, there wasn't real proper ventilation. They had the ceiling fan, right?
Yeah, there's no ventilation.
You couldn't open the windows.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they had the ceiling fan there, was again to help with circulation and help keep things dry to a degree. And you're right, a little bit of not the most closet space for our clothes.
Yeah, and a little bit old, the bathrooms. Just to give you a feeling.
Right, the house itself was a little older.
Right.
That's for sure. it's definitely been lived in here. It's definitely been here a while, but they were taking care of it, and they were doing renovations, which was nice.
And there's no curtain rods.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's kind of just people move out, and they're doing some work.
Right. So you had to kind of look beyond that to see if it was a possibility. So like I said, master bedroom was big. The other 2 bedrooms were decent size, not big, not small. Definitely good enough for what we needed. Definitely for an office space and for Louie's room, which was nice. And then we went up to the 3rd story, which was a roof garden.
Which really nice, have a rooftop.
Which, again, something that we didn't expect.
No.
For the place that we're looking at to be this big, and then to have a roof garden was a very nice touch. And again, that's where we had to put the washer and dryer.
Then we were consider maybe not enough space for the washer and dryer, as we have a combo, stack up combo. Maybe looks short.
Right, would it fit under the roof?
Yeah.
So we have to consider that.
And then from the rooftop, we saw some apartments and even hotels around. Then also make me feel might be something loud.
Right.
Because the hotels can have some night show or singing
This is definitely
around.
a more hotel-y area, right? So yeah, that could be an issue. Those are things we had to kind of consider.
Know. Right.
But then we told us the price, and we were, I think I was at least kind of surprised by the price.
The price is very good so far. But
yeah.
I was like, why the price is lower? Maybe the house got issues.
Right.
The pro is the location is right in the central and very close to the beach.
Yeah.
Literally
the closest one by
the beach. A
few
minutes, right? 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You can get to the beach.
Right, which was again something we didn't expect, even as a possibility. So that was again a very nice touch and a very good pro.
But also the realtor told us they have a few people already interested. That we send over application, so we don't even know we can get it if we apply for it.
If we apply for it, right? Because we still had more to see. I think we were going to see more the next day, right?
Yeah. So we moved down next day.
Right.
There's the same realtor showed us another house, which is a little apartment. It's apartment.
Right.
Sorry, it's apartment.
Right, in Versalles, which again, for those who may be familiar with Puerto Vallarta, Versalles is a very, very popular neighborhood.
Yeah.
Excuse me, for a lot of reasons. One, again, it's very international. There's supposed to be some of the best food in that area as far as international cuisine and local cuisine, and a lot of schools in that area. So it has a lot of perks, as far as being a very popular area for a reason.
And they're very close to the beach.
And still close enough to the beach, right?
Maybe 5 minutes drive.
Yeah, probably driving. Yeah, maybe 5 minutes, maybe even no more than that. So we went in, and this was a 2-bedroom, which was one of the drawbacks from the beginning, was that it was a 2-bedroom. We walked in, and it was I kind of liked it. It was kind of like old and new, right? Like it had been newly renovated, but it still had that kind of like traditional feel. It had the little brick arch to the kitchen, which I kind of did like. I think this may have been one of the smaller places we looked at, definitely in the sense of like the living area. You walked in, and it was like the dining room and the living room combo, which is common, but it just felt that they're very close together, right? And the kitchen was so-so, wasn't big, wasn't small, had a decent counter size, which was nice.
And it's an open kitchen.
And it was an open kitchen,
nice,
right? So you can hang out while making food and talk to each other. Because we talk to each other all the time.
Oh no!
And then we went to the bedrooms. Now there were only 2 bedrooms, but they were very spacious. I do remember that. I think the 2nd bedroom had like 3 or 4 beds in it.
Oh yeah.
Too much. Too many beds in it.
Yeah, it's like for a short-term stay.
Right.
5 kids.
Right.
We don't need that many beds.
No, so I'm sure we could have gotten them to move it out, and that could have doubled as an office space because it was very big, that room. The master was very big. Had a bathtub.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Which Louie always miss his bathtub.
Right. Which is, I think, the only one we've seen with a bathtub. Which was, again, a nice little touch, something different, something Louie could have used and enjoyed. Now, the biggest drawback to this one was that it was on the 1st level, but also on the 1st level with the master bedroom window right outside the sidewalk. And again, I know, myself included, I guess, at the end of the day, but I know Landy really doesn't like that, right? Again, it's the idea of having people passing by, walking, talking, doing who knows what at what hours of the night.
Yeah.
I'm right
a very light
outside your
sleeper.
window.
Any sound I wake up.
Yeah. So that could be a big issue.
Yeah.
Then outside, again, it was very nice. It had a small pool, very nice. Smaller space to hang out, but it did have the lounge chairs, a small pool, a little bridge. It had the little tiki bar.
Yeah,
I think it had the little fruit tree there.
Oh, the star fruit.
Oh, the star fruit.
Yeah, I took a video about it. It's so pretty. I never see a star fruit tree.
Yeah.
Right outside my door.
So
my door.
Yeah, a little bit right outside our door, right? Yeah, that door. So really liked it. Little small, big bedrooms, great location. So these are some.
Yeah, I think you like it a lot.
I kind of did.
Yeah.
There was a lot I did like about that one, quite a bit, except the size.
Maybe. Oh, and the realtor said the price is negotiable.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit high. That was one of but right, they made it very clear that the price is negotiable. I think it was.
I think it has been on the market for a while. I saw the poster before.
Right.
Yeah.
So that one's very nice. And then we went on the next day, right? And that was to the Marina area.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So this one, if you follow our videos, it was a guest of ours on one of our podcasts. This was Manny and Christina, who actually lived in Puerto Vallarta when we were here last year.
Which they do the Puerto Vallarta ghost tour.
Yeah, so if you're interested in ghost tours, check them out. They're the only ones in Puerto Vallarta who do it. So I called him up. I know he was a local. So I was like, hey, sometimes they always say talk to locals. They can help you out. So I reached out to him and was able to get in touch with them. He said, I have a few places, but there's one I really want to show you. It's right by the marina. It's a Canadian couple that they're getting ready to leave. It's fully furnished, very nice. Come check it out. Right? It was a little bit higher than what we wanted to pay.
Yeah, we're asking for 30,000
pesos, right?
Pesos a month, which is above our budget.
Right, but it's like, look, everything's negotiable. Go talk to them. Now, the biggest con of this place was that it was only going to be available for 7 months.
Right.
Because these were people who came down in winter here for 4 or 5, 5 months.
Yeah.
So we'd have to move out in 7 months, which I guess good and bad, right? Again, because maybe we're in Puerto Vallarta and we don't like it. Hey, in 7 months we get out and we're done, right?
True.
But if we do like it and we want to continue, now we have to look for a new place during the high season, like right in the beginning of the high season, where prices might go up, things are just flying off the market because so many people are here looking for places. So we had to kind of consider that. Now we went in, and this was a 2-bedroom. Again, not the biggest, but a good size. Very nice.
Very newly renovated.
Right.
Beautiful countertops. Yeah, the lady told me
soft close drawers.
She found that type. It's a very unique piece. It's really gorgeous.
Right. I think the man was in what do you call it, like a contractor, I think, maybe back home. He did a lot of remodeling, so he did a lot of it himself. Again, very nice countertop, like she mentioned, the soft closed drawers and counters, which again you don't find in Mexico. Good quality. So it was like, wow, this is very nice.
Right. And very breezy.
Yes.
Walking, I really feel the breeze.
Right.
From each angle, each window.
Everywhere you are, it was nice and cool. So the one thing I didn't like about it was that to me, the furniture was too big for the place. I kind of felt that everything was also a little bit tight. True. Kind of oversized couches. And they didn't have a coffee table, and they were ordering a coffee table to go there. So I was like, how am I going to, this coffee table? And to me, it seemed too much.
Yeah.
But had a beautiful view.
Yeah.
Right. Again, then you walk out to the balcony. It's a big balcony. It's overlooking the marina. You can see the 2 big yachts out there where all the cruise ships come in.
True.
Right. And so you're right outside the Gallerias, which is a nice shopping center. And then on the front side, you were kind of at the end of the walkway. They were the last door on that floor. Right. So they had the chairs outside, a little small chairs and table, and you had the mountain view on that side.
Oh,
right. And so they were talking about this is why you get the nice crosswinds, because you open it up, you have wind coming through. It was unobstructed view. It was very breezy. The patio or the balcony was shaded, like where it never got sun all day, which is, again, it's something you don't think about.
Right.
But it's nice to have a patio that doesn't get sun all day, especially in those hotter times of the year when you want to just relax outside.
Yeah. So
this place was really cool. And when we talked to Manny, he said, well, this could be negotiable, especially if you rent it for all 7 months, so they don't have to worry about short term. You move in, and they might be willing to negotiate the price. Yeah. So it was definitely a very interesting apartment, and it did have the pool on the roof.
Yeah.
Right. Not, again, good sized pool, and then the view was even nicer from the pool. Right.
Very breezy, very nice view there.
Beautiful.
It's a big rooftop pool.
I think there you could really see the ocean from there, and on top of the marina.
Yeah.
So it was a nice barbecue area up there. You could really hang out and really enjoy the area.
And another plus is it's so close to the Mercado.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, right
2 blocks,
across 2
right?
blocks.
1 block, 2 blocks.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest Mercado in Puerto Vallarta, which offer food and fresh fruits and meats,
Right.
seafood.
Right.
So they sell everything there,
Right.
which is walking distance.
Right, and it's like I said, close to shopping centers also if you need to. So it was very nice. It's something we hadn't even considered this area, but I'm very glad we saw it because we really liked a lot of things
about it. It's also about 5 minutes to the Chidawi and the beach, which is the Marina area.
Oh, right
and
there.
They said it's very kids family friendly because it's very flat.
Right.
So next to the marina.
Right. So we saw that one, liked it, but then it was time to move on to the last one.
Yeah, the last one. There's another realtor sent you a house apartment.
Right. Which one?
Which one is the brand new building? The realtor is very spotty.
Yes. That one had the very nice view, right? So this was another one. I forgetting the name of the area right now, but it's close to, it was kind of like by Versalles and the Fruvalia area, kind of just right on the edge of them. So it was very nice. This was a new complex itself. They were still finishing it. They hadn't even put in the elevator, right?
Oh,
they said the elevator was coming in like in 2 weeks, and the elevator will be in. And I think there was only like 3 or 4. There was only like 16 rooms, I think, like 4 per, in total. So it was very nice, but only like 2 or 3 had been moved into, which means a lot of them were empty, and they were still working on a lot of them. So again, pro and con right there.
Yeah, she showed us 2 apartments.
Right.
The first one, I feel just the living area really narrow.
Yeah, it's like very long.
Yeah, I didn't even take a video, I don't think.
Right.
So she showed us another one. She said it's on the 4th story.
Right.
Which had better view and a bit wider. Right. So we took a video about that one.
Right. And it was very apparent. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, there's something about it. They're not exactly mirror. Like, this one just feels wider. She was like, oh yeah, it's actually like 1 or 2 meters, maybe like. Yeah. So that little extra tile did make a difference. As far as giving it the more spacious feeling. Then the thing we also liked, or I liked, was the 2 bedrooms were very, very big and spacious, right? The master was very big. I mean, you could see where the kind of space went, because like I said, it felt narrow on the living side, but the bedrooms were very big. Again, so we could probably work with something like that for like an office space.
Sure.
And then one of the things I really liked about it was the view. It was a little bit higher, and these apartments, the balconies face the mountains, which is very different, right? Most people come to Puerto Vallarta and they kind of expect the beach views, but one of the things that makes Puerto Vallarta so unique is that they have mountains here as well, and so
very greenish mountain.
Yes, beautiful. Like they're very lush and like a tropical jungle, and it was just kind of a very calm, relaxing feeling. So that was a very nice plus. Again, something that we didn't expect, but was a very, very nice touch, right? Now, one of the things that you noticed. In the bathrooms,
no ventilation, right? Which again, for a new place, you think that they would think of something like that, especially in the tropical location. Again, go to the bathroom or take a hot shower. Where's all the steam supposed to go? Yeah,
there's nowhere for it to escape to.
I had a bad experience before. That was just caused some mold on the ceiling,
right.
And then if you put all the clothes there, that would be very moisture,
right?
Especially in Puerto Vallarta.
It's hot enough and humid enough outside. We don't need it in the bathrooms.
And all the closets are in the bathroom.
Right. So that was kind of a weird thing that they didn't think about. Even the girl showing us didn't like. Oh yeah, you're right. Like no ventilation.
Yeah, and I also found out one thing is, that one's hot water machine is outside.
Oh yeah,
the water heater.
Just kind of just weird. Again, nothing that could probably really affect you, but the fact that anybody could walk by and just if they wanted to mess with you, like man, turn on your hot water.
Yeah, the chance should be
very small. But it's just a weird feeling. Right?
Yeah, I also prefer it's not inside. Can be also cause some leak or issues.
Sure, I guess for access outside. It was easy. Right. So yeah, it was very nice. Like I said, brand new. So we would have been the first ones to move in there.
Right.
Great mountain view, big bedrooms. There was a park right across the entrance, which was nice. It wasn't the nicest park, but still a place where we could take the dogs and take Louie out to run around. And it did have a small pool also.
Yeah, the pool is kind of small,
right?
Kind of quiet, but a small pool.
Right.
They're still gonna put some lounge chairs,
right, and
make some renovations there. We'll see how that goes.
Right. And then also they were because there were so few people living in the apartments, we knew that there would still be some construction. If we decided to go with this one, that there would still be some construction going on. And again, this could cause issues with sound and noise, drilling, and everything that comes along with that, right?
Yeah, we don't know about it.
And how long it'll go. I mean, they were almost done. This one, I would agree that they're almost done, but you never really know in Mexico.
Yeah. And
when
also
they're gonna be done.
lacking of some resort feeling again.
Yeah, no big palm trees or anything like that.
Yeah.
No big green space. So again, that was a little bit lacking, but you get a lot of other things with it.
But the mountain view is very pretty.
Oh yeah, very.
And
very
it's
pretty.
brand new.
Brand new, right? Good, and I think also one of the bigger ones we saw as far as spacing. Maybe not the biggest, but pretty spacious.
Right.
So it was a nice plus, and I think that kind of takes all the ones that we saw and recorded, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we saw quite a few, a lot of different variety from outside of Puerto Vallarta to in the heart of it. So curious, what do you think? Which one would you choose, right?
Yeah.
And which one do you think we chose? We'll be back and we'll let you know next week.
Yeah, we can tell you which one we choose, and we get it. Okay. See ya.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.